a visual novel, again, if you haven't been watching it. Last part was, and I always forget her name, Subakiko. So yeah, Subakiko's dream / our nightmare. She ends up, like, eating the main dude or something like that. She consumes his soot. Pour all your soot into me. Then he wakes up. Geez, you guys are so helpless. You stayed up till dawn chatting, didn't you? Sheesh. So she wakes everybody up. Lack of sleep, beauty fades, the teacher looks more attractive by comparison. Is that really what you want? But she ultimately told us to take the day off and go home so we could take it easy. Kiko and I went home together. She looked ragged with exhaustion, but she never responded when I asked if she was okay. This wasn't sleep deprivation. Last night I'd had a horrible nightmare. Was it possible we'd all shared the dream?
Kiko-chan wa yume o minakatta?
Say, Kiko, did you have a dream last night? I don't know. That was all she said. But I was sure of it. She'd had that crazy dream. Fortunately, I was back in shape by the afternoon. However, Kiko had been suffering in her sleep the whole time. I worried if she was having another nightmare. I recalled the dreams the night before. It had toyed with me in incomprehensible ways. Yet there was one moment where I had broken through the bell with my own will. Perhaps even that was nothing more than part of the dream. But then I remembered Kurakami. She looked shocked. I'd done something unexpected and wrecked the dream's established rules.
Moshi. Kasa. Tousan wa iru kana?
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Is Dad around? There was no way you could fight against nightmares. But that hadn't been a dream, I knew it. It was some sort of experience. Then it could be resisted. All I had to do was fight back. Though I felt I was grasping at straws, I told my dad everything. Suzuhara Divine Tribute Style is a sacred thing dedicated to God. What you saw wasn't a dream, but something brought about by evil force. And you have the means to drive it away. To train in our family style is to offer dedication to God every single day. Thanks to your dedication, you may have developed the ability to crush evil. Can I save Kiko? How you can save her? Keep your presence of mind and continue training. If you continue training, you'll purify your body and force the evil gnawing away at her to disperse. Wakatta. Alright. I cleansed myself, changed clothes, and began training. Could I really save her? No, I couldn't allow myself to think that way. I had to keep a clear mind. Kiko wasn't doing well. Like Miss Hinagata, her parents believed she was exhausted. But I knew the truth. There wasn't something so simple as a cold or sleep deprivation. The nightmare, like something, was still eating away at her. And though we had the same dream, I got better rather quickly. Something only I possessed must have abated it. And if I could obtain that through this, perhaps I could save her. I had emptied my mind and focused on training longer than usual.
Kiko-chan, guai wa dou?
You feeling okay, Kiko? I knocked, there was no answer. I turned the doorknob, it wasn't locked. She said earlier she'd lock it later, meaning she hadn't gotten out of bed once since then. I entered her room to find her breathing labored.
キコちゃん。
She didn't answer. The only response I got were her pained breaths and occasional grunts. No doubt about it, she was trapped in the nightmare. What could I do? I purified my body and trained. If the power to crush evil dwelled within me, because of that, then I figured I should be able to use it. I gently placed my palm on her forehead. I felt something akin to vertigo. The room was a pitch black. There was nowhere that could be producing any light. Yet I felt something brilliant slowly fill it up. Kiko let out a heavy breath. It was different from the labored breathing of before. That breath was a clear sigh of relief.
キコちゃん。
進む。
Beads of sweat clung to her forehead, but the pain etched onto her features had faded. She slowly took my hand and lovingly placed it on her cheek.
ありがとう。
Thank you, Suzumu.
よく覚えてないけど、すごく辛い苦しい夢を見ていたの。
I don't remember it very well, but I had an awful dream.
わかるよ。
Yeah, I know.
でもね、その夢の中で鈴間が助けに来てくれたの。
But you showed up in the dream and saved me.
嫌なものも怖いものも鈴間が来たらパーッと光に溶けてみんないなくなっちゃった。
Once you arrived, all the fear and misery melted into light and disappeared.
ありがとう。
Thank you, Suzumu.
ありがとう、鈴間。
I tried to move my hand back, but she frantically grabbed it.
離さないで。
Don't let go.
手を当ててるとすごい落ち着くの。
I feel more calm with your hand there.
あのね、私って昔からよく気持ち悪い白チュームとかをよく見るの。
Kiko nuzzled her cheek against my hand like a cat for a while afterwards. Hey, Suzumu, I've been getting a lot of bad daydreams for a while now.
鈴間を駅に迎えに行ったあの日もそうだった。
I even had one when I went to pick you up at the station.
鈴間を待っている間、すごく気持ちの悪い白チュームに
I had a bad
ずっ
day.
とうなされてたの。
I had a bad daydream while waiting for you.
そうだったんだ。
I say.
今思えばあの日も鈴間に助けられた気がする。
Now that I think about it, you might have saved me back then.
鈴間が白い綺麗な光の中からやってきて私を助けてくれた気がするの。
I feel like you came out of this beautiful white light and saved me.
そういえば鈴間が来てからかな。気持ち悪い夢とかをほとんど見なくなったのは。
Come to think of it, I've barely had any bad dreams ever since I came to town.
今こうして手を当ててもらってて私確信するんだ。
Feeling your hand on my cheek, I'm sure of it.
鈴間にはきっと不思議な力があるんだね。
You must have a mysterious power, Suzumu.
おお。キコちゃんを悩ませる気持ち悪い夢の正体はわからないけれど。
I'm not sure what the truth is behind your nightmares, Kiko.
僕が修行している神前武術は神様に捧げる神聖な力が宿るものなんだって。
But my father says that the divine tribute style possesses a sacred power dedicated to God.
その修行のおかげで僕には幾ばくかの覇者の力が宿っているのかもしれないって父さんが。
Thanks to my training, my dad says that I have the power to crush evil.
やっぱり鈴間はすごいね。
You're amazing, Suzumu. This confirmed my suspicions. Something evil was tormenting her, and I had the power to relieve it. I've been training for as long as I can remember. Not even once did I question what it was all for. but for the first time I felt I understood. Perhaps it had all been for this particular moment in time.
ちょっと納得かな。鈴ってすごい清らかな感じだもん。
I think I understand just a bit. You feel so pure.
汚れとか全然ない感じ。だから悪いものも退散しちゃうんだろうね。
You don't seem corrupt at all. Maybe that's why you can make the bad things go away.
私、鈴に会えてよかった。
I'm glad I met you, Suzumu.
鈴に出会えてから毎日がどんどんハッピーになっていったもん。
Every day's been happy since you got here.
そうなら僕も嬉しいな。
If that's true, I'm happy too. Yesterday, Kurakami swatted me away when I tried helping her. Then she called me corrupt. Kiko claimed that wasn't the case. Yet for some reason, Kurakami's words weighed heavily on me.
鈴原に近づきすぎれば不幸が
If you get too close to Suzuhara, he'll bring misfortune on you. She said that loud and clear. Kiko said it was thanks to me she managed to wake up from the nightmare. But how did I know it wasn't my fault she'd been in the dream to begin with? Well, on that day, Kiko had announced to the LCSC that she and I were going out. I could tell that earned her a great deal of ire from the other girls. The atmosphere had been so tense after that. Natsu had even commented that it was likely they were possessed. Was Kurakami right, and I'd brought misfortune upon them getting too close to them? Nothing made sense. At any rate, I couldn't think of anything better to do besides stay close to her at a time like this. Just what was happening here? What could I do? Though Kiko's condition improved slightly, she still wasn't fully better. My power is probably not to cure, but to provide temporary relief. She was staying home from school today and would be going to the hospital. Kiko is still suffering a bit, but she was doing better than before. They'd probably give her a checkup at the hospital. Strange thought came to me. They would probably give her some safe, generic diagnosis like a cold, but I had a feeling that what was happening to Kiko, that thing we'd experienced that could only be likened to a nightmare, had to be something that couldn't be explained by medical science.
よ、体は大丈夫なのかよ。
Oi, feeling better?
僕はね。
I
で
am.
もキコちゃんはまだ。
But Kiko,
食中毒ってわけでもねえだろうにな。一体何だってんだ？
I doubt it's food poisoning. What could it be?
社長コブの他の人は大丈夫なのかな。
I wonder if the rest of the LCSC is okay.
メールしてみっか。
The local community service club. I'll text him. With a practice motion, Natsu sent a text to the LCSC's group chat, inquiring about the club members' conditions. A little while later, he got a response from Miss Hinagata.
見延さんと布川さんもお休みだそうです。厚田くんと鈴原くんの体調はどうですか？
Minobe and Nunakawa are taking the day off. How are you and Suzuhara feeling?
俺はへっちゃらだぜ。
I'm A-okay.
僕ももう今は大丈夫って送ってくれる？
Let her know I'm alright as well.
夏くんはメール打つのいつ見ても早いな。
You're sure fast at texting.
数々のデュエルで鍛えた指さばきの賜物よ。
This is the result of many fierce duels. Miss Hinagata eventually replied, Can you come into the infirmary after school, Suzuhara? I'd like to check on your condition. One last period had ended. I headed for the infirmary.
鈴原くんの体調はどう？
Once the last period had ended. How are you holding up, Suzuhara?
僕はあの日の昼にはもう大丈夫でした。でもキコちゃんは。
I was better by the afternoon, but Kiko.
悪い夢にうなされているような感じ？
Suffering like she's having bad dreams, huh?
はい。僕もあの夜何かとても気持ちの悪い夢にうなされた気がします。
I think I had a bad dream that night, too.
キコちゃんも悪夢にうなされていたと言ってた。
Kiko said she also had a nightmare.
きっとミノベ先輩もリリアちゃんも。
I'm sure it's the same for Minobe and Ruria.
症状はみんな同じよ。
Everyone's symptoms are the same.
みんな 悪い夢にうなされて
Everybody's suffering from nightmares. Does she know more than she's letting on? Miss Hinagana had apparently gone to visit them all. That included Kiko. There, she learned they were all plagued by the same symptom.
これは病気か何かですか？
Is this a symptom or something?
こんなことを言うとおかしいと思われるかもしれないんですけど、
This might sound crazy to you, but I want you to hear me out.
何？
僕にはひょっとしたら悪夢を和らげる力があるのかも。
I might have the power to ease nightmares. Hinagata gasped in surprise. She probably hadn't been expecting that.
どうしてそう思ったの？
What makes you think that?
僕が修行している神前武術は覇者の力を宿すと父が
My father says the divine arts tribute style, the martial arts I train in, bears the power to crush evil.
神前武術って？
Divine tribute style. I gave Miss Hinagata a simple explanation. That the Suzahara divine tribute style had the goal of offering dedication unto God. That this style granted the one the power to crush evil. And that when I tried it on Kiko, I'd alleviated Kiko's suffering.
あの時のキコちゃんにお世辞を言える余裕なんてなかったと思います。
Kiko wasn't in any state to be flattering me.
彼女は心から僕の力で悪夢が晴らされたと信じてた。
Kiko truly believed I drove away her nightmare with my power.
彼女のお世辞でもなく僕のうぬぼれでもないならば、
And if this isn't flattery from her or my own conceit,
僕には何かそういう力が宿っているように思います。
then I believe I truly do possess this ability.
どうして鈴原くんをシャチホコ部に招いたか知ってる？
Do you know why I invited you to the LCSC? No.
いえ、
私もなの。私も春宮さんたちと同じく 悪い白昼夢を見やすい体質なの。
Because I too suffer from bad dreams, just like them.
成人してからだいぶマシになったけれどね。それでもたまに見るの。
I've gotten a lot better since I grew up, but I still get those dreams from time to time.
あの日もね、久しぶりに随分と気持ちの悪い白昼夢にやられていた。
One day I was having the worst daydream I'd had in a while.
その時よ、白い暖かな光に満たされて
But a warm light
悪夢か
appeared,
ら目覚めさせられたの。
and it woke me from my daydream.
まさか
Oh, wait, you don't mean...
その時保健室に入ってきたのがあなたと敦太くんよ。
When you and Etsuda entered the infirmary and you punched her?
あんな経験は初めてだった。人に悪夢を晴らす力があるなんてね。
That was the first time that ever happened to me. I never believed people could have the power to drive away nightmares. Oh, you do know more than you're letting
だか
on.
ら私はその力を確かめたくてあなたたち二人をシャチホコ部に誘ったのよ。
But I wanted to confirm my suspicions, so I asked you to join the LCSC.
最初は敦太くんにその力があるかと思ったの。
At first I thought Etsuda had the power.
彼の暑苦しいまでの賑やかさ、そういうものには悪いものを払う力が少しはあるから。
He's a bright, personable guy. Someone like him has a power to drive away bad things.
でもそれだけのことで悪夢を払えるわけがない。
But his fun spirit alone couldn't be enough to drive away, couldn't be possibly enough to drive that away.
鈴原くんの神前武術の話を聞いて確信したわ。
When you told me about the divine tribute style just now, my suspicions were confirmed.
あなたには悪夢を払う力があるのよ。
You can drive away the nightmares
僕は
or hauntings.
どうすればいいんでしょう。
What should I do?
私とあなたの仮説を確かめるには試す他はないわね。
We don't have any choice but to test if your hypothesis is correct.
試すって
How would we test it? You let me have a nightmare?
行くわよ、みんなの家に。
Let's go visit everybody.
あなたがお見舞いすることでみんなの症状を軽くできるかもしれない。
If you go see them, their symptoms may abate slightly.
もしできたなら
If that happens,
できたなら
then what?
すごい朗報。シャチホコ部 So happy!
Great news! The LCSC is so happy! This is where I skipped to last time. I thought this would take a lot longer to get to, so I'm pretty happy it only took like I don't know, 10 minutes. We met in Miss Hinagata's car to visit the others. She seemed a bit excited.
先生、
Hinagata,
何？
yeah?
シャチホコ部って何なんですか？
Exactly what is the LCSC?
社会奉仕の部活という建前ですが、さっきの先生の感じだと何か違う気がします。
Officially, it's the local community service club, but there must be something else, judging by your behavior.
先生もキコちゃんも悪夢を見やすい体質だと言っていました。
You mentioned you and Kiko tend to have a lot of nightmares.
ひょっとしたら見延先輩もリリアちゃんも
Then it's the same.
そうなんじゃないですか。
It's the same for Minobe and Ruria. A local community service club would normally be made public and attract lots of students. But that wasn't the case with the LCSC. It was a secret club, only those with Miss Hinagata's invitation could join.
そうね。もし鈴原くんが私の期待する通りの力を持つ人なら、
That's a good question to ask, if you have the power I'm hoping for.
近いうちに全てを話さなければならないでしょうね。
Then I'll have to tell you everything soon.
今は話せないんですか？
You can't tell me now? No, you gotta prove it.
私の頭がおかしいんじゃないかって思われたら嫌だもの。
I'd hate for you to think of me as a nut job.
あ、先生、あれは本当に悪夢なんですか？
Miss Hinagata, was that really a nightmare?
悪夢としか知覚できないと言うべきでしょうね。
Perhaps it would be better to say it can only be perceived as one.
つまり悪夢ではない何か。
So the nightmare is something else altogether?
私は少なくともそう思っているわ。
That's what I believe, at least.
でも悪夢と思っていた方が多少は気が楽よ。
It's healthier to think of them as nightmares, though.
教えてください。一体何なんですか？
Just what are they? Come on, tell me.
神前武術という神聖な儀式で和らげることができると理解している鈴原くんなら、もう想像がついてるんじゃない？
If you can use a sacred ritual known as the divine tribute style on them, then you must have some idea, shouldn't you?
今ここでしている話は先生と鈴原くんだけの秘密よ。
Let's keep this conversation between just you and I, shall we?
こんな話を大真面目にしてるなんて教頭先生に知られたら大変なんだから。
If the vice principal found out I took this stuff so seriously, I'd be in big trouble. Hinagata parked the car on the street with old public housing. Apparently, Minobe's apartment was in one of those.
お昼には起きてくれたんだけど、今はどうかしら。
She was up this morning, but things might be different now. Hinagata pressed the doorbell several times until Minobe's voice came across the intercom. She hadn't been ignoring us, that was just how long she needed to get out of bed.
スズムンが来るって分かってたら、シャワー浴びて、もうちょっと可愛い服に着替えたのにな。
If I'd known Suzumu Moon was coming, I would have put on better clothes and taken a shower.
具合はどう？
How are you
寝てた？
feeling? Can you sleep?
寝たところで気持ちの悪い夢を見るだけだから、
Not good.
無理やり起きてた。
All I get are nightmares when I sleep, so I'm forcing myself to stay up.
最近ので今回のが一番辛いかも。
This nightmare may be the worst one yet.
ここまでひどいの。
The first time it's been this bad.
それで今度はスズムンがお見舞い？
Anyway, what's going on? You come to check up on me, Suzumun? Yes. Minobe let us in. When I saw the exhaustion etched on Minobe's face, I was sure. It was exactly the same as with Kiko. She'd been plagued with the nightmares since last night, no, the night before that.
鈴原くんはどうやって春宮さんを？
Suzuhara, what did you do with Haramiya? I put my hand on her
キコ
forehead.
ちゃんの時はこうやって手を。
I just took my hand like this and...
何？
What are you doing?
ちょっとおとなしくしててね。
Just relax for a second. I placed my hand on Minobe's forehead as she lay in bed. Got the same feeling as I did with Kiko. The feeling of brilliant white light filling everything.
どう？何？不思議。
What's happened? I don't get it.
スズムンの手が触れると気持ち悪いのが
When Suzumun touched
ふわ
my...
っと逃げていく感じ。
when Suzumoon touched my forehead, that horrible feeling just put away.
よかった。やっぱり効いたんだ。
Phew, thank goodness, so it really does work.
すごいわ。やっぱり鈴原君には不思議な力が宿ってるんだわ。
Amazing, so you really do have a kind of power, Suzuhara.
どういうこと？
What are you talking about?
詳しくはわからないけれど、彼には悪夢を払う力があるのよ。
I'm not sure, but it seems he has the power to drive away the nightmares. He might be sucking the nightmares into his own body, though. We'll find out.
そうか。やっぱりスズマンは王子様なんだな。
I see, so you really are a Prince Suzumoon.
感じますか？白い光のようなもの。
Did you feel something like a white light?
それに身を委ねて体を楽にしていてください。
Please give yourself over to the white light. And rest. Kiko had at least recovered enough to go to the hospital herself. She still didn't look fully cured, but at least it was better than when she was trapped in the world of the nightmare. This mysterious power could heal Kiko as well.
このふわっとした感じ。
I feel like I'm floating.
初めてスズムンと会った時がそうだった。
It feels like the first time I met you.
私は廊下で嫌な白昼夢で朦朧としてた。
I was in the hallway, lost in a bad dream.
その時スズムンが声をかけてくれたら気持ち悪いのが
But after you
ふわ
called
ーって晴れて、
but after you called out to me, that horrible feeling just whooshed away.
そんな経験今までに一度もなかったから、この人運命の人なのかなって思った。
I'd never felt anything like that before. It made me wonder if you were the one for me.
そうしたらシャチホコ部でもう一度出会って、
And when we met again in the LCSC,
この人は本当に運命の私の国の王子様になってくれるんじゃないかな。
I felt like you really could become the prince of my kingdom, that we were destined to meet. She regained enough of her strength to talk. That was great. Thank goodness. I kept my palm on her forehead a little while longer. Before long, she fell into a tranquil slumber. By then, most of the color returned to her face, and she seemed peaceful. I gently put the covers over her.
このまま回復してくれるかしら。
I wonder if she'll recover now.
僕が触れている間は具合がいいようですが、離れるとそれも薄れるみたいです。
It seems to do well when I touch him on the forehead, but then it disappears as soon as I leave.
そう。
I say,
でも春宮さんの今日の具合は昨日よりはずっといいんでしょ？
but Haramiya was doing much better than she was yesterday, right?
はい。あれでも昨日よりはまだ。
Mm-hmm. She may not have been at school, but that much is sure.
素晴らしいわ。これは本当に素晴らしいことよ。
That's
鈴原くん。
That's amazing. It really is Suzuhara. We headed for Ruri's house next. It was a notably elegant house in the residential district. She must have been suffering from nightmares too. I had the power to heal her.
これ気持ちいい。
Kimochi. I knew she would say that. This feels so good.
どう？ものす
Oh, sorry. How is it? Doing a little better now?
どう？少しは楽になる？
I feel great.
先輩の手一生おでこに貼り付けてたいくらい。
I feel so great that I wish I could glue Suzuhara's hand in my forehead forever.
かわいそうに。ずっと辛い夢を見続けていたんだね。
You poor thing. You've been having nightmares this whole time, haven't you?
はい。私って昔から夢見が悪いたちみたいで、
Yeah, I've been prone to having bad dreams for a long time now.
ここ最近は治ったかななんて思ってたんですけど、
I thought it'd gone away,
これ
but
は今までで一番ひどいみたいで。
this was the worst one yet.
もう大丈夫だよ。僕にはそれを和らげる力があるから。
You're alright now. I have the power to ease those bad dreams.
不思議ですよね。どうして先輩の手にはそんな力が。
It's so bizarre. Why does your hand have the power to why does your hand hold such power?
普段の稽古の賜物としか言えないよ。
All I can say is it's the result of my everyday training.
シャチホコ部を解散して、これからは裾原くんの指導で親善武術部を始めようかしらね。
Maybe I should disband the LCSC and start up the Divine Tribute Style Club, DTSC, under Suzuhara's guidance, of course.
ありがとう先輩。来てくれて本当に嬉しいです。
Thank you, Suzuhara. I really am glad you came.
これからも私が悪い夢にうなされたら助けに来てくれますか？
Will you come to me if I have more bad dreams in the future?
必ず。
Absolutely.
約束ですよ。絶対約束ですから。
That's a promise. You better keep it. Ruri's complexion improved as she drifted to sleep. Ruri's mother, who came in with a tray of tea, was also happy to see her daughter doing better. There was only one more left. Kurakami must have been suffering from nightmares too.
最後は黒髪さんですね。
Kurakami's last, isn't she?
そう。彼女が一番ひどいの。
Yeah, hers is the worst.
彼女にもあなたの力が通じるなら、これはすごいことだわ。
If your power was to work on her, then it would be more than impressive.
そういえば、鈴原くんって珍しい名字よね。
Come to think of it, your surname, Suzuhara, is really interesting, isn't it?
そうですね。あまり他では。
すすを払うと書いて、鈴原。
Ah. Suzuhara, written Suzu as in soot, and Hara from Hara-u, or to drive away. In other words, drive the soot away.
春宮さんとは確か遠い親戚の関係って言ってたわよね。
You said you were a distant relative of Haramiya's, didn't you?
ひょっとして、すすだかその周辺にご先祖様が住んでいたということは？
Perhaps your relatives lived in Sasuda nearby.
どうでしょう。親に聞いてみないとわからないです。
I'd have to ask my parents. I don't know if they lived in Sasuda or somewhere nearby.
この町の名のすすだ。大昔はすすの田んぼと書いてすすだと読んだらしいの。
You know, our town's name is currently written as Field of Hope, but they say long ago the Suzu part was written as Soot instead. In other words, Field of Soot.
そしてあなたの名字がすすを払うと書いてすすはら。
And your name is Suzuhara, otherwise known as Drive the Soot Away.
何の話かわかりません。
I got no clue what you're getting at.
私もよ。
I don't either.
あなたは一体何者なのかしらね。先生、興味が湧いてきたわ。
Who are you? You've certainly piqued my interest. I came to this town to attend high school. I'd always been told that once I graduated middle school, I began training on my own, away from my parents, and I heard that was part of the training. I ended up in Sasuda so the Haramiyas could take care of me, but now I felt like I'd been guided here by the hand of fate. As Miss Hinagata said, Sasuda's name was originally written as Field of Soot, while my surname meant Drive the Soot Away. It certainly seemed fitting, at least. At first, I thought Miss Hinagata had invited me to the LCSC on a whim, but now I knew she'd done it intentionally. Furthermore, I'd learned that the LCSC was comprised entirely of kids who were plagued by nightmares all the time, and the Divine Tribute style held the power to ease the nightmares. Was it all a coincidence, fate, or had I been brought here by someone's design? I had no idea, but there was something only I could do, so I had to do it. The only one left was Toei Kurakami. She must have been suffering from nightmares since that day too.
こんにちは。す田高校の雛形と申します。
Hi, I'm Hinagata from Sasuda High School.
トエさんに面会したいのですが。
I'd like to see Toei if that's alright. We asked around at the shrine office and learned that Kurakami had been seen by the Doll Memorial Hall. Miss Hinagata had mentioned that she had it the worst of them all. but physically she at least appeared to be doing better than the others.
人形供養殿。
The Doll Memorial Hall.
岩井本神社は人形供養の神社としても有名なのよ。
Iwaimoto Shrine is famous for being a doll memorial shrine.
黒髪さんはいつも日本人形を抱いていますよね。
Kurakami's always carrying around that Japanese doll, isn't she?
そうね。手放すことができないのよ。
True, she can't let go of it.
どういうことですか？
What do you mean?
いたわ。トエちゃん。
There she is, Toei. Toei was sitting in the doll memorial hall amidst the rows of thousands of dolls. The way she sat in the middle of them made her look like their master. Her eyes were shut, perhaps she was sleeping. At the very least, it didn't look like she was being haunted by her nightmares. Hinagata Sensei. She gave Miss Hinagata a blank stare, as if wondering why she'd come to visit twice in the same day. But her features hardened when she noticed me.
鈴原、何をしに来た？
Suzuhara, why are you here?
聞いて。彼にはすごい力があることが分かったの。
Listen, I found out he has an incredible power.
それ以上近づくな。
Don't get any closer.
鈴原の汚れが苦しい。
Suzuhara's corruption hurts.
お
With the other girls, my touch or even my mere presence had eased their nightmares. However, with her, the closer I got, the greater her pain grew. Did she hate me, or was I really as corrupt as she thought? But she'd been chatting with the rest of us the night of the sleepover, hadn't she? She was even closer to me then, and responded to me like anybody else would. Yet at this moment, I felt as though the very sight of me brought her pain.
鈴原くんは汚れてなんかないわよ。むしろ清らかなくらい。
Suzuhara isn't corrupt. He's rather pure, in fact.
彼は神前武術の稽古をしてるんですって。それがきっと彼に悪いものを払う力を与えてるのよ。
He's training in the divine tribute style that must be giving him the power to drive away evil.
神前。
Divine tribute, huh?
論より証拠よ。きっと効果があるわ。今よりずっと楽になるはず。
As they say, the proof is in the pudding. Just give it a try. I'm sure you'll feel much better.
だから騙されたと思って彼の手に触れてみて。
Let him try. Let him place his hand on you.
でき。
But I can't. Go.
黒髪さん、僕にはその辛さを和らげる力があるかもしれないんだ。
Kurakami, I might have the power to ease your suffering.
夜な。され。
Stay away. Leave.
お前の姿が見えなくなるところへ。され。
Leave until I can see you no more.
辛いのはわかるけど落ち着いて。彼には本当に不思議な力が。
I know it hurts. Calm down. He really does have a...
何度も言わせるな。
How many times must I tell you?
鈴原の汚れが鈴が強すぎる。
Suzuhara's corruption. His soot is far too strong.
早く消えろ。
Hurry. Go away. Go away. Kurakami covered her face with her hands, as though she were about to claw it off. Just then, her long back hair danced in a whirlwind. It looked as though the wind had come from her.
黒髪。
お前が
I
欲しい。
want you.
抱いて。
Take me.
鈴原。私を抱いて。
Take me, Suzuhara. All of a sudden, there was a loud snap. For a moment, I wondered if branch-like horns were sprouting from her head. But I was wrong. Little pieces were flying off the countless dolls surrounding her. They were the dolls' heads. The heads of the dolls encircling Kurakami burst off one by one. One of them landed right at my feet.
トエちゃん、しっかり。
Calm down, Toei.
鈴原。注ぎ込んで。
何を？
What are you saying?
鈴原の真っ黒なすす。
Suzuhara, fill me with your black soot.
私の中に全部注ぎ込んで。
Pour all of it into me. I had no clue what she was talking about. Her face was eerily seductive, as bewitching as a spider approaching its prey. It didn't seem to me that she was saying those things of her own volition. I could only imagine something evil was possessing her and making her say them. And perhaps I could save her.
やめ。
落ち着いて黒髪さん。僕には助けられるかもしれない。
I think she said, stop it. And then he said, calm down, Kurakami, I might be able to help. I ran into the hall without removing my shoes, when all of a sudden there was a loud bang. The heads of the dolls I approached burst off all at once. I had no idea what had happened, but my heart was struck with an impression. The countless dolls were glaring at me with a single emotion, rejection. I stopped in place, like I'd stepped into quicksand of their making. Deep down I could feel it in my bones. If I went any closer, I'd break not just the dolls, but her too.
黒髪さん。君を救いたい。
Kurakami, I want to save you.
僕はどうすればいいんだ。
What do we do?
遅い。
It's too late.
お前は
You're too late.
遅い。
何が遅いんだい。
Late for what?
千年。遅い。
1,000 years too late. All of a sudden, she looked up at the ceiling and collapsed in the swarm of dolls. I couldn't move. My mere presence had made her collapse, so I feared if I got closer to her or touched her, I might break her for real. We called the people from the shrine's office for help. Her father came rushing over and brought her to the house. All I could do was stand dumbfounded by the edge of the trees. Hinagata talked with Kurakami's father, but he reprimanded her in a stern voice and demanded that she never pull a stunt like that again. I couldn't blame him. Up until now, Kurakami didn't look as though she'd had it as bad as the rest of the girls. Yet she fainted when I tried approaching her against her wish.
僕のせいです。
All my fault.
自分を責めないで。私のせいよ。
Don't blame yourself. I'm the one that deserves it.
あなたの力ならどうにかなるかもしれないと勝手に思い込んで彼女を苦しませてしまった。
I got it, I'm the one who got it in their head that you might be able to do something with your power. Her suffering is on me.
彼女に駆け寄ろうとしたからです。
It all happened
僕の
because
せいです。
I tried rushing over to her. It's my fault.
あの時あなたが駆け寄って彼女に触れてくれたらきっと救われるんじゃないかって期待したわ。
You know, back there, I believed that if you touched her, she'd be saved. I was sure of it.
でも結果は私が想像していたようなものではなかった。
But I never would have expected any of that to happen.
私の浅はかさがトエちゃんもあなたも傷つけてしまった。
You and Toei both got hurt because of my recklessness.
今日のことは忘れてね。本当にごめんなさい。
Just forget about today. I'm really sorry. When I saved Kiko and the others, I was convinced I had the power to drive evil away. I believed that my years of training in the divine tribute style granted me that amazing power. So I was sure I could save her with the power as well. But it was just as Kurakami had said. I was corrupt.
僕はやっぱり汚れているんでしょうか。
I really am corrupt, aren't I?
もう気にしちゃダメよ。
Don't think about that.
でもキコちゃんたちを救うことはできたんです。
But I did manage to save Kiko and the others.
なのにどうして黒髪さんだけ
So why did it fail with
救うことが
Kurakami?
できないんだ。
トエちゃんは本家だからね。他の子たちとはススの濃さも事情も違うんでしょうね。
Maybe because Toei's from the main family, so her density of certain circumstances may be different from others.
すす彼女も言ってました。僕の真っ黒なすすって。
Kurakami mentioned that. She talked about my pitch black soot. Alright, I'm gonna leave it here. I think this will be an okay spot to leave it. And then next time, which probably will be in a few minutes, I'll just pick up right here. See ya!